What's up, you guys? It's your girl Kristen here. I'm a licensed esthetician, an educator, mentor, a YouTuber, and a mom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button, especially if you're also an esthetician. Maybe you're an aspiring esthetician, beauty entrepreneur, all of that works here. I have been sharing with you my real and raw journey, and that will not change at all anytime soon. I'm being real with you guys. I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk to you guys about. I knew I was going to be filming today, which is a Friday. I was like, okay, I have some time to really like marinate. I do take the time, you guys. I really try to ask the universe and just my being like what my audience may want to hear about. And so just know that that's where this is coming from. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from my soul to discuss this with you guys. Shout out to my massage therapist, Ashley, who gave me an incredible service earlier this morning. I did relax. I did, Ashley, I promise. But I did use that time to kind of clear my mind and really just tune in. And then it came to me. Literally just about 5 minutes ago, it came to me. Because I was typing down just like random tips, and it just all kind of like came into one particular subject that I feel like is relevant. So today I'm going to discuss with you why your business might not be taking off. In any journey where you're going to be working for yourself or going kind of against what I feel like is the norm, you know, not a typical 9 to 5, there's going to be ups and downs. And I mean, I guess even in any job, there's ups and downs. I know I have had discussions with a handful of you at my in-person skincare training or over Zoom in a coaching call, which I would love to see more of you guys applying to do my in-person skincare training. And I also offer an online course, a few online courses, so be sure to check that out down below. But I created those resources for you guys to be able to have discussions with me. And so I think a lot of the discussions that I've had recently have been kind of formulating around this fear. And this advice is not only just for you guys, it's for myself, because I definitely, and I've been real with you guys the last couple weeks, I've been kind of going through a little bit of a funk. It's Mercury retrograde. For those of you who know what Mercury retrograde is, y'all know what I'm talking about. There has just been some really heavy things happening in our world, I would say. I mean, there's always heavy things happening, but especially in the last couple years, and more recently too. And I did want to give a moment of recognition for the lives lost recently in those horrible shootings. Quick minute on that, and I want to be sensitive to this. Me not speaking on some of those topics or occasions or events that are happening are not because I don't care or not because I'm not aware of what's going on. It's just that I don't want to make my channel about that. I think there's enough discussion around certain things like that that I've chosen not to spend too much time on those things. But of course, you know, this one definitely resonates more since I am a mother. This does, I promise you, stem into what I'm about to get into as far as why your business might not be taking it off. And the real reason is, and I'm going to tell you guys this, and you might not want to hear it, the reason your business is probably not taking off is because of you. Because of you, your mindset, what you're thinking about, what you're putting your energy towards. And that is why it may seem like, why are you not talking about these things, or, you know, posting about it, or whatever, or paying attention to it. It's not because I'm purposely trying to be ignorant to things or tune them out or not care. It's because I'm just so protective of what I allow in my space. And, you know, I'm human at the end of the day. You're human at the end of the day. We have emotions. We have real life things going on. And it's just about knowing how to navigate through what we call life. We're all in this period of time together right now watching this. All I know is what I've been through and what I've done, and I hope that me sharing these things is to show you that despite everything that is going on currently, there is still something to be grateful for. There's still something to be excited about. And I want to change the tone right now and turn it into like, let's get juice again about what we're doing and what gift we're able to give to our clients, to the people that we come into contact with. Stemming back to the reason why your business might not be working out is because of you, your mindset. I've been listening to a really great audiobook, and until I'm done is when I will share it with you to make sure I've screened the whole thing. But so far it's just been amazing to listen to, and I've just kind of pulled some nuggets from that audiobook. And one of the first things that they talked about was, of course, the law of attraction. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard it before. I know there's some thoughts around whether it's true or not. I've personally noticed, like, whenever I'm in a funk or I'm not feeling good about something, it starts to manifest. So even though I've been in this kind of like weird headspace, like, that is purely why like things have been like slower. And I realized, like, you know what? Yeah, I need to get out of that mindset. And maybe you giving the focus toward your business, thinking, oh, you know, why is it not working out? Or why don't I have this? Or why don't I have that? I want to ask you a question. Where is your radio tuned to? You know, they gave the analogy of listening to the radio. You know, you have to intentionally turn the channel to whatever channel it is that you want to listen to, and that is what is being fed into your life. So ask yourself, like, how am I feeling right now toward my business? What radio station am I tuned into? If you don't have a good feeling, if you're kind of feeling like negatively toward it, then I guarantee you most likely your business is also reflecting that, and your life is also reflecting that. Does it have to stay that way? Absolutely not. You can tune that radio into a different channel anytime, and it literally starts right now. And so if your desire is to get your business where you want it to be, it is 100% time to change that radio station to something different. Because whatever radio station you had it on before, I'm not sure if that was the one that was going to guarantee your success. So part of being in a part of that like proper radio station is completely surrounding yourself with the thought of a successful business. And that starts with how you carry yourself. And I think working with a lot of newer estheticians, I think the number one thing that I see with newer estheticians is just a lack of confidence. You're going into this industry with, you know, none to little experience. You're still learning, you're still growing, you don't know all the ins and outs. I don't even think it's because you're young, because I know some of you guys maybe are 19, 20 years old watching this, but there are some people watching this that are in their 40s and 50s. I have had the pleasure of working with some more of my more blossomed estheticians that started their journey later in life. Get that thought out of your mind, because age is not a factor here. It's time. Time is a factor here in the industry. So there is this sense, no matter how old you are, of inexperience and lack of confidence. And I'm not telling you guys to like fake it till you make it. Like, I really don't think you need to pretend or tell people the wrong information. If someone asks you like, oh, how many years of experience you have, you can be real with them, but it's about how you talk about it. It's about how you feel about your quote unquote inexperience. You could either look at it as a disadvantage or an advantage. And so I encourage you, if someone does ask you that question, and even if you tell yourself that your newness in this industry is not a disadvantage. And it's all about how you say it. So if someone were to ask me back in the day how long I've been in the industry, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been doing facials, and I include my experience in esthetician school, and I say I've been doing facials for about 7 to 8 months, and I love it, it's wonderful, and I'm really excited to continue to learn more. You see how like more positive that sounds versus like, yeah, you know what, I've only been in this industry for like 3 months. Like, I know it's not a lot, and yeah, I mean, I probably could learn more. You see what I'm saying? Like, the tone of how you worded that, it makes a huge difference. Hold yourself confidently. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to lie about how long you've been doing this. And also, I've told a student this before. People are going to come into this already with a sense of trust. Like, just remember, you have your license, right? You went to school, you took the state board exam, you have your license. So people are going to be coming into the service looking at you as a professional. So understand and take pride in that title of like, yes, I am a licensed esthetician, and know that there's already a sense of trust. So take that trust and hold it and nurture it. Nurture that thought that people are coming into this trusting you, and that you're not going to be able to please everyone. Then that's okay. And I've told you guys this before about manifesting the type of clients that you want. One of the things that I really wanted to attract in a client was somebody who would be understanding of that, somebody who would be supportive of me regardless of whatever I was going through. And so I told my student, I was like, start thinking about attracting a client that is gonna be okay with your lack of experience, and that be okay with that you're not gonna be able to please everyone. And even if you are somebody who's got 5-10 years of experience and under their belt, you're not gonna be able to please everyone. So why trip about that client that maybe is coming in with all these expectations and you're not meeting them? Why worry about that? You already know that that's already a possibility, but you might not even have to deal with that. You may just start to attract the type of clientele who just believe in you, who see your potential, who appreciate you as a person and how you carry yourself. I've told students before, like, carrying yourself means being professional. Maybe there's some of you who haven't had any work experience, but I think a majority of people above the age of 16, 17 have had a job of some sort. And so there is a certain standard of like how you should carry yourself in a professional setting. And that is honestly what I love to teach in my skincare course, because it doesn't just, it's not just about the facials, because I think anybody can offer facials, right? And I think some of you might be thinking, well, you know, there are so many people offering facials. Like, what is it that's gonna make them come to my business? And you're already thinking about like your limitations, and it's like, stop thinking that way. There's plenty of clients to go around. Think about it. How many McDonald's do you see in one neighborhood? And do you think any of them are suffering and not able to thrive? No, there's people all around. I see this with Starbucks too. There was like one that was just built in my neighborhood a couple years ago, and then they built another one. Both of them have huge lines, and they offer the same thing. They, you know, they're like, there's nothing special about each location. It's just they're all busy. If you have that mindset of like, hey, you know, I could be right next door to somebody else and still thrive. That's like, again, like I said, your mindset around it. When you know that you're not going to be able to necessarily take all of the clients in your grasp, you're going to be able to hold on to the ones that I think align with what you're hoping to attract into your business. I actually thought of this a little earlier, and I was like, that's so funny. Such a mom analogy to bring up. My son and I love the movie Kung Fu Panda. And I'm sorry, I'm going to do a little spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen it yet, pause the video and go watch it first. But it is one of my hands down favorite movies. We watch Kung Fu Panda like over and over and over again. Like I said, spoiler alert, at the end, Po, which is the panda that Jack Black plays, learns the secret to the Dragon Scroll. And this Dragon Scroll was the key to limitless power and being this ultimate warrior that was going to save the town and defeat Tai Lung, which is the antagonist in the story. And Po opens the Dragon Scroll and it's empty. It's blank. And everyone's confused by that. They're like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? What is the secret? You know? And then he goes to his dad, all bummed out, like, oh, you know, like, I guess I'm not the dragon warrior. And the dad's like, okay, well, now that that's over, let me tell you the secret ingredient to my soup, which he has the secret ingredient soup or something. And he's like, the secret ingredient is nothing. And then Po has this like realization that there is no secret ingredient. Fast forward, he's fighting with the antagonist, Tai Lung, and Tai Lung gets a hold of the scroll and he thinks, ha ha ha, like I got the secret now. He looks at it and it's blank. He throws it towards Po and Po looks into it, and then you can actually see at that point that it's a reflection. It's a reflection of him, and he said there's no secret ingredient, it's just you. Stop trying to search, especially you newer estheticians, and even maybe some of you seasoned estheticians, for that magic factor or that perfect timing or whatever that little secret ingredient that you're hoping to find. There is none. It's just believing that you have what it takes and that you're gonna do this no matter what. And I remember going into my business with no savings, with a less than 1-year-old child, a pandemic. There's all these reasons why everything could have counted against me, but I went into this saying, you know what, there is no plan B. This is gonna work out. I have what it takes. I have the you know, the confidence. I don't know everything, but I'm gonna make this work and it's gonna happen. And I just went into it with that relentless mindset, and it just, look where it is now. And like I said, it's still not perfect, still not where I want it to be, but that's because there's still things that I need to work on within myself and to work through, and things that have stemmed in my childhood. And we all have that. And that's another thing in the book that was mentioned, was that we all have these like seeds of thoughts and concepts that we were raised with. One of the biggest ones that I believe held me back for the longest was that being a hairstylist or a beautician is not a real career. And I would say probably within the last 10 years was really when the beauty industry kind of like blew up and became a thing. It wasn't really a thing before. I never grew up being told that being a beautician was a career. I didn't even know what the hell it was. You know, it was always like, oh, be a doctor, be a lawyer, or go work for a big company and have benefit. Honestly, I didn't even know what benefits were, so I can't even say that. But even now, understanding like, you know, what our parents were raised to believe was now passed on to us, that we need that kind of stable type of job to be happy, to be secure. That has been ingrained in a lot of us. I think especially the millennial generation, and probably the older generation as well. I think the newer, you Gen X and Zs are lucky because you guys are kind of being introduced to this a lot younger in life. For us, it was like such a foreign concept to work for yourself and for it to be okay to not have a 9-to-5 job. So I really had to battle with that, that seed of thought in my childhood. And also, yes, my family did go through financial struggles. I remember my dad was a single dad providing for us, and there was things that I couldn't have. And you know, we grew up with the saying of, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, and you know, everything's limited, we got a budget, and you know, it's very like tight-fisted with finances. So I grew up with that tight-fisted mindset of like, oh my gosh, I have, you know, I'm struggling, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And it's not necessarily your fault. It's not, you know, what you're born into is totally not your fault, but it's how you approach it and how you grow out of it that you are responsible for. I had to take on those thoughts and translate them into something different. I encourage you, like I said, turn that radio frequency to a different station and make your whole being and what you listen to, what you feed yourself, what you dress like, how you talk, emulate what you want to become. So if it's becoming a boss esthetician, ask yourself, what does a boss esthetician do in this situation? What would a boss esthetician wear? What would a boss esthetician say to this client, or who would they surround themselves with? So that's why I hope that I can be a part of your radio channel. And it's not even just because I want you to view my videos and do all this and that. It's because I'm headed in a certain direction, and that's why I named my channel Journeying to Being a 7-Figure Esthetician, because that is the direction I'm headed in. And so even if you want just a bit of encouragement along your journey, whether it's something big like that or just being a solo esthetician, whatever your goals are, hopefully I can be a part of your radio station and be that encouragement and be your mentor in a sense. Also, it's important who you surround yourself with. So if you're talking to people who don't make you feel good about what you're doing, or they give you a hard time about what you're doing, or you're walking on eggshells with them, like, please limit your association with those people. Some of my closest people in my life are like that, and so I love them to death, but they gotta stay there. It's hard sometimes, but they have to stay there because they're gonna hinder your part of your journey that you are meant for, and you have to believe that. You have to believe that this life wasn't meant to be difficult for you, even though some of you have had to experience that, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry you had to go through what you've gone through. This is the moment right now where you can decide that it's gonna change, and it will change as long as you have that mindset and that you really want that successful business. Another thing I wrote down was how you're feeling is what you're going to be manifesting, and what you're thinking about. So if you're thinking about your lack of clients, or your lack of the equipment that you really want, or the lack of space. I know for me, sometimes here in this space, there's some things that happen that I'm like, oh, like, again, you know, with the neighbor. Why would I give thought towards that? You know, think about, instead of thinking of what you lack, think about what you will have, and imagine what it's gonna be like to have that booked clientele, what it's gonna be like to have that space that you're dreaming of. Visualize it, meditate on it, believe it from your core that it's coming, and it will. It will, I promise you. And I know that maybe some of you tuned into this video and were like, well, what's the secret? Again, remember, there's no secret ingredient. It's just about what you surround yourself with and what's up here. So remember, whatever it is that you're vibrating is what you're attracting. A lot of what I've been practicing in this time where I've been feeling the way I've been feeling was now understanding, like, okay, if I'm feeling this way, what is it that needs to change for me to feel good again? And to have a vibration of gratitude, and to be present and to be thankful for what you have right now, because guess what? Right now is part of the journey toward what you want. And you're gonna be able to look back and say, wow, look where I came from. I remember that time where I was worried and I was scared. And now look where it's at. And so now I'm even telling this to myself, like, I'm gonna look back at this time, even though things have developed and been successful. But of course, like I said, as you achieve your goals get bigger. The list is endless, right? You know, as soon as you hit one goal, you're gonna want something else. So we're in a constant journey toward that. And so right now, I'm having to remind myself, like, you're gonna look back at this time one day and be like, wow, remember that? And now look where we're at now. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully didn't talk your ear off too much, but I appreciate you for taking the time out of your precious, precious day to be a part of this community. And if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because you're not going to want to miss the journey we're about to take. I want to take you all with me. I want to meet you guys. I asked a question on Instagram the other day, like, should I do a pop-up in LA or New York? Like, please let me know where you're located, because I want to plan something in the future where I could pick like a couple cities to go and try to meet some of you guys. I love you, and make sure that you tune in next Monday for a new video. And until then, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.